Spicy Hot Feedback with Sam Koch, your host, and Steve Peltzman, CEO of FeedbackNow. And we're going to go through, eat some hot wings.
Talk some feedback.
Yeah, talk some even spicier feedback questions.
These are the 10 from the
Yeah, we are 100% ripping off. Thank you. This is parody. And we're just going to go.
These are the, I just wanted everyone to know.
These are the official hot sauces. Yeah. Should we start?
Let's dive in and then we'll get to the questions.
All right. So you want
No, how is this done? Just slathering on?
just a little dip, you can,
Yeah, you do it first.
I'll do a dip.
Yeah,
Do a little drop. That was a lot. I didn't need to do that much. It's good to practice on the early ones with the big, just slathering. The first hot sauce, the Seeing Double. Here we go.
some double. And after each one, we're gonna give it a rating.
Yes. Green, yellow, red from San Eve.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So you've been in the military, the CTO of MoMA, and have been the CIO of a public company, all before becoming CEO of FeedbackNow. What have you taken from those experiences to lead FeedbackNow?
Good question. They're all very different. The military was, you do something wrong, people die. In MoMA, they felt like if you did something wrong, people will die, but they really wouldn't. And, Forrester, FeedbackNow, I don't think anyone's going to die, but it's kind of, still important and critical. And you just sort of get perspective from the first two. I think that helps dealing with everything, every decision we make. The other thing about working in a nonprofit, a public company, startup is, boy, it's very, very different. You gotta change. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know when they eat during the show.
You gotta change priorities. You gotta understand risk aversion is a big difference. Risk aversion in a museum, very different than a risk aversion appetite at a public company. Very different than a risk aversion appetite at a startup. And I think until we were an independent company, we really couldn't take the risks than what we needed to take.
Good answer. What do we think about this hot sauce?
And this one's pretty mild.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
You're gonna give it a green for the flavor.
I have my ice cream. Where's your shake?
I'm hiding a milkshake. So we'll see if we get to that.
We'll lip that.
Yeah. All right. Second one. This is the garlic Fresno. Oh, you go.
Go ahead. Did you like it?
I should get a little.
All right, but this is a 2, right?
This is a 2.
How can we do the ice cream? Well,
You're already okay. We're already in on the ice cream.
just because I like ice cream.
Okay. Okay.
Question number 2.
FeedbackNow does a lot of things. How do you describe it to someone that you meet on the street?
Yeah, do a lot of things. Best way I describe it is we put sensors in physical places like airports, hospitals, and retailers. We bring that stuff in, knowing where and when that data was brought in. We mush it all together and we operationalize it to optimize the experience. So that's all the time I have, probably didn't explain it well, but then give you a couple more minutes, I say, like at an airport, security line. We can figure out what the traffic is near the airport. We can figure out the sentiment of people in line. We can figure out how long it took them to go through that line, put that all together and figure out the exact optimal time to open new lines, to close new lines, to save labor and optimize the experience. You optimize the experience, you get more retail spend, and so on and so forth. So I have different versions of different lengths of time, depending on if I'm in an elevator or captured eating wings.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
A couple weeks ago was at a comedy show. I told you about this, but for the cameras. And the comedian actually was like, "What do you do for work?" And I just went, you know those buttons in the bathroom? And everyone was like, oh, the buttons in the bathroom. And it was a fun little moment. I got pulled up on stage.
We're best known, for whatever reason, best known as being the buttons in the bathroom. And so sometimes I just default to that. Hey, you know the buttons in the bathroom? That's us. But we do a lot more than that. And, you know, it is what it is. Bathroom's a very important experience. We know that. You know that. But no, we're in hospitals, we're in retailers, airports in terms of not just the bathroom, but the security lines and this one's thick.
This is thick. Yes.
Security lines, retail, food court.
Wait to rate.
I got you playing? Huh?
We have to rate the second one first.
Oh yeah.
This was a yellow for me.
Is it like how much it burned your lips or how much you like the taste?
I'm rating it based off of flavor.
Flavor, all right. I don't like garlic, so I'm gonna go with yellow. It looks like I have to smear it a bit.
Yeah.
What is this one?
This is the fermented kimchi.
No, I don't like kimchi, but... Ready? You can take it back. It's good.
Yeah, that's a green for me for sure. Let me hit that. All right. Third question. FeedbackNow uses smiley buttons. It's kind of what the company is known for, famous for. But also different kinds of buttons. What's a button you wish you had in your personal life?
Time travel button. Go back to when I was an old button. A button to not eat the last 4 days. A button about to jump to the end of this, or the Sunday, which is probably by a couple days when I will be old. Yeah, I like the idea of time travel, going back. It would be a nice little button to have. Or like a button that gets me out of waiting online forever when they're not using FeedbackNow. I always talk about, like, you go into a grocery store and there's like 18 aisles, but only 2 are open. I would like to have the instant open an aisle button, you know, things like that. But yeah, I think a world where we all had buttons and got what we want would be nice. But yeah, I guess time travel would be my answer to that one.
Nice. Do we rate this one?
This is green.
This was a green.
Very tasty. I'm reading that up.
Yeah. Next wing, we've got the Los Calientes. All right. Ready? Cheers.
Cheers.
What is your favorite customer story from your 5 years at the helm of FeedbackNow?
Hang on.
Great. Oh, this one's nice. Good the flavor.
All right. So, favorite customer story. No, it's found two. One recent was we put actually at the direction of our client, was his idea. Figured out that there's 3 things that patients want in the hospital that aren't clinical. Food service, you know, when you're lying in bed in a hospital, food service, maintenance, like something's wrong with TV, and cleaning. And his idea was to use our 1, 2, 3 versions. They're here somewhere. It's basically the green, yellow, red with the 1, 2, 3. And the patient just has this direct button to get help. And that, we rolled it out, that instantly shot up their HCAP scores. We also have sentiment in restrooms in the hospital, and using that to draw, there's no 1, 2, 3, using that to draw the right staff to the right place at the right time. And we looked at the data, our FeedbackNow data, we correlated it with the actual scores that they get from, you know, weeks and months later from that same time. And it was like this ridiculous tight correlation, which means that to us, that means that, like, we can be real time to that hospital what they look at months later. So we can tell them now what kind of results they're going to get. And that gives them an opportunity to fix it. To me, that's amazing. Another great story that I like to tell is that at, I think it was LaGuardia, we were rolled out to a whole bunch of places while they were trying to figure out the new terminal. And, the Shake Shack, the Hudson News, all these different places in the airport. And I'm going to no bite. It was good. Yeah, agree.
That's a green for me.
Don't worry, they'll get red. And all these places were getting, their share of greens and yellows and reds. But this one place, this coffee shop, was getting like big bursts of red votes at really random times. There was no pattern to it. Usually there's a pattern, like the end of the day, shift change. No, there was no pattern. It's red, red, red. And we never really seen anything like this before. So we throttled down the alerts and we had the staff run over when they got an alert to see what was going on. And what they saw was that the coffee shop that was getting all these crazy alerts was in between two gates. And every time both gates were unloading or loading at the exact same time, caused all these crazy lines. And the lines for loading the gates started crossing into the lines at the coffee shop, when it made a mess. Then someone just put a stanchion there to keep the line in the coffee shop over here, and the red burst went away. And what I love about that story is that is a big customer pain point that you never would have understood with a survey, ever. There's no other way you would have understood it except for real-time sentiment and getting those bursts of reds and actually observing what happened. And that, to me, was like, that was the first time, it was like right when I took over, it was the first time I was like, I see the power of the solution, because the surveys are nice, but they're never going to tell you stuff like that. I'm going to have a bite of the Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, this one's got a little bit of heat. Like, you could feel it. I think
It's more of a preventative Haagen-Dazs.
That's a preventative one?
Yeah.
We're going to move into Fat Cat.
And we're on the back nine? No, we're still on the front plus.
This is the last of the front five.
All right.
So we're almost halfway done.
All right, I'm ready. You ready?
And it gets better. Not at all.
Is that the appropriate amount of...
It's like a very dribbly one.
Is it supposed to be smoke coming off of Ash? I feel like it was smoke.
All right.
All right, here we go.
The question here is, to Steve, you're in the midst of leading an AI transformation in the business.
Yeah.
What's one use case of AI that we've implemented as the head of AI that you are most excited about? And why should you pay me more money?
One thing I really love is about how we have these insight services where we look at the data, because we know that a lot of our clients don't have a data team to look at every single analysis, every single set of data and figure out what's going on for their business. But they don't know FeedbackNow like we do. So we offer these services where we'll examine the data, we'll figure out what it means, what it's correlated to, what actions they can take. We've seen other clients like them. We can give them suggestions. And it's a really great service that is super valuable with all our clients. The part that's tough is that it had been mostly manual. It had been us humans on the FeedbackNow team, armed with the knowledge we had, which is vast, but still going through and trying to figure out those insights on our own. And one of the things Sam did was dive in there and use AI to pull that data out, not just format it the right way, but really pick out the insights that maybe the humans didn't see and then tee them up for us. So an AI generated, insights, which then you could look at and go, okay, yeah. And it just made us give better insights to our customers in ways that were more helpful and quicker, and we can provide that service more often. So that was a really good innovation right from the get-go. Great. All right, are we on to the back nine?
We are on to the back nine.
Back five.
This one looks very hot.
Shake.
I did trying to do a shaky shake. All right. Yeah.
One double ranch.
Double ranch. This is the Anima.
I don't know. This looks scary.
Yeah, this one looks like a lot.
Oh.
All right. You pulled FeedbackNow out of Forrester Research, a publicly traded company. How and why did you decide to make that move? And how did it come to be?
Should I eat first and then answer second?
You should eat and then answer. All right. Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, it's not going to be a green, I'll tell you right now.
Ooh.
That's not going to be a green.
This isn't a green for you? I like this one.
It just tastes like acid. I have this thing, by the way, for instant question, where if I eat enough spice, it will involuntarily hiccup. So Templar, you're gonna make a loud noise.
Okay.
Or maybe soon. Just tell, what was the question? There it is.
You pulled FeedbackNow out of Forrester Research. How and why did you decide to take that move?
Wait, hang on. Gonna do a little ice cream.
You got answer and then do the ice cream. We answer through the pain.
All right, I'm just trying to get rid of the hiccups. Spice hiccups. So, we'll start with why we acquired it, which was George Colony had a vision, which I really stood behind, which is that the future of research isn't necessarily just surveys, because that's like a lot of context, but it's way after the fact. That the future of research, Forrester's a research company, future of research was getting real-time data at the exact moment and place of experience, and knowing not what happened over the last 4 months, but what happened yesterday, what's happening right now. And the idea of the acquisition was that if we acquired this company, FeedbackNow, we would have that data and that could help with consulting and the research and so on and so forth. But as time went on, and with COVID in the middle there, I think the two paths kind of diverged. Forrester had to focus on what it had to focus on. There's a big shift that they were doing with how they package their research. And FeedbackNow started to take another direction, which is more operational, real-time operations sort of optimization and things like that, which wasn't necessarily part of that vision. And helping hospitals, which wasn't necessarily in their bailiwick either. So at some point, it just made sense to let Forrester focus on what Forrester's focusing on, what FeedbackNow is focusing on, what we're focusing on. And that was the reason for the split. I'm just gonna start.
Are you a drums? This is not a question. Are you a drums or a thighs guy? You're a drum?
Yeah.
You're a drum? All right. Oh, wait, we have to give... Do we rate out that one?
Yeah, that was I'm stayed on the reds. But I'm gonna get that a yellow.
I'm still in green. I like that one.
We're younger and more positive.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What
This one's called
Black Flag.
no, red flag.
Black-eyed Susan
Okay,
is the
red flag.
red flag. All right. All right. You're collecting feedback at the exact moment a customer has an experience. No surveys, no delays. What's in one insight that you've seen from that real-time data that completely surprised your clients and even you?
Oh, I'm not prepared for that one.
Bon appetit.
I'll say this. One thing that's surprising is you would think people going into restrooms in airports and through security lines in airports, if you ask anybody, that's hot, yeah. If you asked anybody, like, Oh, but 8 out of 10 of those have to be red. You had to look at pain there. Was it a pain on my answer or a pain on the wings?
The wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
The actual data is that most people put positive stuff. 60, 70%. Ooh, that's hot. 60, 70% are like positive. Whether it's the restroom, the security lines, or whatever, and it's consistent. Like the worst ones are like 60. So I think that's surprising that in this negative world, there's some really positive people out here. That's hot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like, oh God, the more you talk, it gets worse.
Underneath my tongue is hot.
So the amount of people, like when you look at survey results or you look at like customer feedback on like a Yelp, it's the angry people who like leave the long comments, but
Right.
most people are satisfied most of the time. And seeing that data is, it's really interesting talking to customers about that.
And all it takes is like one service person to be nice to you, and most people will want to reward that person. And I think once, businesses who have that input then reward the happy workers, and that encouragement cycle continues. That I feel may have like taken blood. I'm not really sure.
Is that a red for you?
We're getting there. I mean, there's only 3 left.
We'll go yellow on that one.
Yeah. Oh, let's do it yellow. I'm saving the red for the last couple. It's like
I didn't love the flavor.
that's a painful burn.
It just felt burn without.
Are you putting your milkshake, or are you just doing this all?
Right now, I've been raw dogging it.
It's good to be a.
I hope that the raw dog is not going in the video. Doing this, cut the raw dog.
We're leaving it. It's up to you. Hot. You're good for a second, and then you like feel the burn again. You're like, wow, that's a hot burn.
Yeah.
What? Let's finish it up. Let's bang it out. Let's go. Final three innings here. 7th inning to 9th, or 8th, 9th, 10th. This is the one you said that was dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I think we do little here.
Little here, yeah.
I'm gonna do it off the wing, and then I'll give you some space, and you can like dab it in.
Hot. Is that all you're doing too?
Oh yeah, that's all I'm doing on this one.
Yeah,
I'm more worried about this one than
then 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
Okay. So you're saying that's gonna kill me right there?
You want more?
I'm asking. I know. I want more. So the easy answer, I think, would be people, because everyone goes, "Oh, my biggest cost is people." But, and sure, we'll help you save labor. That's what we do. But you like to see that in a way where it frees people up to actually, it's not about firing people, it frees people up to do better things for customers. I think process, though, is exciting to me more than most, because it's like little things like the stories I told before about like just putting a stanchion up to shield a line, just understanding that a certain signage makes all the difference, certain communication. It's the little things in customer experience that make the most, I have to swallow, make the most impact. So I feel like when we uncover a process, you all right? No. It's like two people getting really stoned or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's a rand, dude.
yeah, that one's pink there.
Two people don't. That's not what you're talking about.
It's getting a little, yeah.
It's the process
Yeah.
that are like quick wins.
They make everyone realize that this real-time stuff is potent, like the sauce. That's good one. It's good. My eyes are watering. You're sweating.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's because you didn't have the ice cream, see? I'm older. I need the ice cream. Okay. 2 more to go. We're finishing this up. Finish it up.
Cheers. Oh my God. So FeedbackNow's constantly innovating.
Yeah, constantly.
Curious, what is your favorite thing that's coming out or was recently come out?
Well,
And what is it? Why?
that's a bit of a softball, Sam.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's a bit of a softball because, hang on. Because
Oh, what's a nice flavor?
that was good, actually, until it hits me. It's like
Oh God, no.
flavor. We'll see what it does to my lips. So, bit of a softball. Hey, because we listen to our clients. What our clients told us is that we like surveys because they give us context, but we understand that people don't take them till later. So we want the real time, but we want the context. And we know that if we put in all sorts of data along with the sentiment, we're going to figure that context out. But sometimes companies know what the 3 or 4 things are that's wrong with their experience, typical. So we heard them, and we're coming out with a device called the 6 dot. Well, we call it internally the 6 dot. But really, there's another hiccup. But really what it is green, yellow, and 4 reasons of bad experience. So that you okay?
Yeah.
4 reasons of bad experience. So that those reasons. So imagine a cafeteria, and it's green, yellow, and dirty, noisy, and smells bad or
Crowded.
whatever, crowded. Each press of that reason can trigger a different, direct alert to the right person who knows exactly what to do. In a restroom, it could be, green, yellow, cleanliness, plumbing, and supplies. And, you press supplies, someone's going to get a work call, hey, go refill the soak. And we know that device, along with an e-ink screen that shows when you last cleaned or responded to alert or whatever it is you want to display, we know that single device can revolutionize experiences where we are. I can't believe I sell.
I thought just when you
go to swallow, you get more.
oh yeah.
So, in a sense, talking constantly.
My heart is beating.
Talking constantly has been helpful. I can't need any more of this. All right, 2 to go.
All right, take the chicken, this half-eaten chicken part off.
Or is that mine too?
Yeah.
Wait, so we only have 1 left?
We're on the last one.
Oh, so there's 2 left.
And as is
Apparently, spice makes your math skills go down.
as is tradition here on Spicy Feedback, the show that we ripped off, you always do a little extra on the last one.
Do you make the person in the room who's not doing it chug it?
Yeah.
The hell?
The video replay is gonna chug this one, so I'm gonna go a little extra on this one. The last dab.
I'm gonna smear it around for equal distribution.
All right.
Oh, it's gonna be a rough weekend, my friends. Rough weekend ahead.
All right. So here's the last question. Cheers.
We're gonna stretch.
And then afterwards, Steve, you're gonna tell the people what we're working on. You're gonna tell the cameras what to do. So you're excited. All right. The last dab experience. We're gonna try this one.
Cheers.
Another hot sauce.
Fine.
Whew. All right. The last question is with AI taking over analytics and automation, what's the future of feedback look like?
Oh, easy one.
Do you imagine a world where customer input is 100% passive? No buttons, just sensors and cameras? So is that where we're going?
Oh my God.
Delicious. Who had the last one? Oh, there's a...
The last one was a red. For sure. This one actually has some good flavor. I didn't get the good flavor. I just got the acid.
I like the little habanero to it.
All right. So. Well, I'm just gonna. I gotta answer the question. So. Come on. Hang on. I'm almost there. That'll be between my teeth. All right. So, future feedback. I think the idea that people have all these people, I say businesses, why do I lick my thumb? The idea. That was acidic. Hang on. The idea that I'm going to answer this eventually. The idea that organizations do things on a schedule and look at surveys, to me, is archaic. That's like old Middle Ages, when we have all these cheap sensors, all these data feeds. Oh my God, it's getting worse by the second. So from a futuristic point of view, I feel like every single experience is going to be sensor driven. And every company is going to figure out their dynamic processes. When I open up lines, leave the burp there. Where's the milkshake?
I'm gonna give you the milkshake.
No, you look like you need it. He looks like he needs it. But as far as passive and not passive though, like, I think customers want to, I've always felt this, customers want to contribute to their experience. So I think while it could be all passive, I think there's something cathartic and altruistic about giving a customer control over their own experience. My example was always Waze. If you use Waze, it has the feature where you can see where the police are and stuff like that, or where the traffic jams are. That's because people report it. Why would they report it when they're already there? They don't get the benefit. They do it because they want to they want to contribute the experience. I'm talking because if I talk, then I don't have to swallow. Maybe you should talk. Be better. So you do that because you want to contribute to your own experience. And I think, so out of that, we started putting on our signs, next to the buttons, we started putting things like your feedback powers our operations, because we wanted people to know this wasn't just about collecting data, it was about them contributing to their own experience. Steve, I love that. That is great. We're going to get you some more note before we go to this camera, or to this camera. Tell the people what they're working on. Tell the people where they should go if they want to meet you or learn more about FeedbackNow. He needs to go to the bathroom real fast or something. Wash his mouth out. So I'm going to make this really long, extended suffering for this idea that he brought upon us. info@feedbacknow.com, as Feltzman at feedbacknow.com, as Koch at feedbacknow.com. You can find us at feedbacknow.com. and talk to us, and we'll tell you everything we know about customer experience, real time. This guy needs help. I need help in real time. Thank you. Oh.